There was a young man who was working for a large and prestigious organization. He had been with the organization for a few years and he was very proud of his position and it paid well. He always made sure to complete all of his tasks on time and he even would stay late and come in early to work whenever the organization needed. He never had any issues with his coworkers and was generally seen as friendly and professional by his colleagues. During the organization's annual performance evaluations, the young man was sure he would receive a glowing review and an outstanding rating. After all, he always completed his given tasks, made himself available when necessary, and got along with everyone. However, he was surprised when he was given a satisfactory rating and a note from his supervisor that he could use improvement in a couple of areas. In his mind, there was no way this was right. Surely his efforts and years with the organization deserved an outstanding rating, shouldn't it? Not only that, but he learned that another one of his coworkers with a similar title and position who had only been working at the organization for 6 months, received an outstanding performance rating. Angered, confused, and frustrated, the young man went to see his supervisor and demanded an explanation. The supervisor paused for a moment.
Before I respond to your inquiry, can you do me a favor?
Yeah, sure.
Can you go to the store and buy me some oranges? My husband needs them and I'll give you the money for them.
The man took the money and left to go to the store and buy some oranges. When he got back, the supervisor asked him a question.
What kind of oranges did you buy?
I don't know, you said to buy oranges and I got you oranges, so here.
How much did they end up being?
Well, I didn't know how much to buy and since you gave me $30, I just grabbed a couple of bags. Here's your receipt and change.
Thank you.
Then the supervisor called in the other employee, the one who had received an outstanding rating, in fact. She asked him to do the same and he readily agreed and left. When he got back, the supervisor asked him a question.
What kind of oranges did you buy?
Well, the store had so many varieties and I wasn't sure what you needed. They had all kinds like Navel, Blood, Valencia, Mandarin, Tangerines, and even Tangelos to name a few. I didn't know which kind you wanted but I remembered that you said your husband needed them, so I called him. He said he was having a party and he was going to make freshly squeezed orange juice, so I asked the grocer which type of orange would make the best orange juice. They said that many of them would make excellent orange juice but the best are Valencia oranges. The grocer described Valencias as being sweet and particularly juicy, so that's the kind I bought. I went ahead and dropped them off by your home on my way back to the office and your husband seemed happy with the oranges.
How much did they end up being?
Well, that was another problem. I wasn't sure how many to buy, so when I was on the phone with your husband, I asked him how many guests he was expecting. He said about 20 people will be there. I also asked the grocer how many oranges do I need to make enough juice for 20 people, and it was more than I was expecting. So I asked if they'd be able to give me a discount if I purchased a bulk amount, and they did. These oranges normally go for 75 cents each, but I ended up only paying about 50 cents per orange. Here's the receipt and change.
The supervisor smiled.
Thank you, you may go.
The employee went back to work. Then she looked over at the young man who had been watching this conversation unfold. The man was completely disarmed and dejected.
I see what you mean.
He stood up, shoulders slumped and stature deflated, and meekly walked out of his supervisor's office. Having the qualifications, showing up every day, and doing what you're told may allow you to keep your job. But if you want to further your career and get noticed, you need to do more than just go through the motions. In many workplaces, that's the bare minimum, and the real difference between these two employees wasn't going the extra mile or being more efficient, but the motivation and intent behind that motivation. The first young man was motivated by money and prestige offered by the organization and his position giving him a sense of entitlement, while the second man was driven by an unwavering desire to please his employer with a commitment to being the best employee he could possibly be. With that, the outcome should be of no surprise to anyone. Remember, outstanding performance is more than doing your job and doing it well. It's really about bringing value to your organization.